we're now the night before the opener. You guys have had a few weeks to go through everything in camp. Do you feel like the group's ready to go here?
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel like the group are more than ready. Actually, like everybody know the role. Everybody know like what we have on the team. We have Steph. We have Draymond. We have Jimmy. All these guys that are gonna be the main guys on the court, and we know that what we gotta do to help them, and especially for win games and win the championship. That's the goal, and that's the things that everybody have in mind. Like everybody's just like no egos, nothing. We just here to work and make sure that we're gonna go for the championship this year.
Steve was talking about the excitement he still feels on opening night. He's obviously been in the league a long time. I realize haven't as much, but what's that feeling like? The anticipation, and is it magnified at all playing in LA? On that stage against kind of a marquee franchise, and even if LeBron's not playing, still Luka. There's still a lot of big names.
Oh yeah, definitely. For me, that's gonna be my third season, right? But that's gonna be my second opening night. I feel like it's kind of like a dream still, playing with Steph, playing with Jimmy, Draymond, all these guys, Hall of Famers, playing with against Luka and like Lakers in LA, still being a great feeling for me. I think you guys say there's like butterflies in the stomach, something like that. You're right. So yeah, that's how I feel every time. Not just for the opening. Opening is special. Like of course, it's the first game of the season, but every game when we there together in a circle, we like talking how we can be good that day. I still feeling the same feeling every night.
If I guess one quick follow-up, if you end up spending any time on Luka, describe that challenge. How difficult? What do you have to do to try to contain him?
We know that it's very tough. Luka is one of the best players in the world. So the most stuff, like the most important stuff for me is like you cannot defend him just one-on-one every time. To defend him, you gotta have like a team defense and also like people behind you helping you. So you just gotta do like exactly what the team are saying, the teammates and the team are telling you to do, and you can count with the guys behind you. Like Draymond gonna be there to help, Jimmy, all these guys, they're gonna be like on him too. They're gonna help, not me, but just everybody that's guarding Luka.
Gui, you hear Steve just talk about the right player who works here, and he's so adamant about finding the correct combinations and everything. For you, when do you feel that, I fit with this guy, or I fit with these players, or this combination makes sense for me? How and why do you feel that as a player?
I feel good when I'm playing with somebody, especially like when you on the court with them and you already know what they're gonna do. That's the best feeling, because like for example, I know when Steph passed the ball and I know that he's gonna run somewhere else, and if I see him running to my directions, usually like if it's a normal player, you just cut through and give him space. But when I see Steph running to my direction, I know that I'm gonna pin for him, set a screen, and everybody gonna be worried about him. That's when we got slips. That's just one example, but like with Jimmy, it's the same stuff. There is when he goes like last year, like he told me like stay in the corner in the game, So I learned with that. So now I know with Jimmy, I'm a guy that like to cut, but when I'm playing with Jimmy, it's different. I gotta be more spaced and give him the space to work in the paint. And like everybody else, Gary, I love playing with Gary too, because me and him, we play like kind of like same cutter lines and everything, so we know what we're gonna do. We understand each other well.
All right, two more. We gotta get to
With the rotation a little bit in flux here and there, and sometimes there'll be nights where you play maybe not as many minutes, and sometimes you play a lot of minutes. What are sort of the conversations you're having with like your coaching staff and everything in that regard?
Like that is stuff that we cannot control, like how long we're gonna play. But for me, in my mind, every night I'm ready to play 48 minutes. If I had to play 48 minutes, or if I have to play 2 minutes, I'm gonna be ready. The most important thing for me is when I step on the court, and everybody tell me that down there, the coaches, just go there, play hardest that you can, bring energy, trying to get extra possessions for the team, and help the these guys to be the best they can on the court. So it doesn't matter if I play 30 or I play 2 minutes. I still play in the same way, bringing the high energy and bringing everything that I can to just help us win games.
Compared to last opening night, just this last year, how much more comfortable are you when it comes to playing with Steph, playing with Jimmy, knowing what to do, like you said, knowing when to cut, knowing when to space? And how did you get to be that comfortable? Was that just like a time thing, or?
I'm way more comfortable than last year. Of course, the fact that we have Jimmy in the middle of the season, and now we start with him in the season changes a little bit because I know what I gotta do, like I told you guys. But when you have this feeling since the beginning of the season, that make it easier, you know. So I'm more comfortable. I know like exactly what I gotta do when I have to play with this guy and with this guy, and that's bring the confidence, and just like you know that you're gonna be comfortable playing. Doesn't matter who you're playing, you're just gonna do that stuff and you're good, you know.
Great. Thanks, Steve.
All right, thanks.
How did Jimmy and Jonathan come out of yesterday?
Good. They're both probable for tomorrow. So I expect them both to play. They went through practice and they both said they're feeling good.
Hi, Steve. As you embark on another season, you ever get any butterflies at all? Is it kind of like acting at all when you're going out there for the first time and just trying to, get off to a good start?
I wouldn't know what acting feels like, but I know as a coach I get butterflies before every game, and just like I did as a player. And as soon as the butterflies leave, it's probably time for me to leave. So I'm excited. I can't wait. What a setting, opening night, Staples. It'll be fun. And I get butterflies every game.
Just a quick follow-up. I know you're not involved in any kind of thing with TV production, but NBC is going to get the games back for the first time since 2002, I believe. When you were a player, did you guys ever get excited about hearing Round Ball Rock from John Tesh and the whole?
Of course, yeah. But I'm an old man. I got excited when I heard the CBS song from the early 80s. You want to see some early graphics and early sports songs. That's another good one. But it's pretty cool to get the Round Ball Rock back in the mix for all those games. It really sets a great tone for the games. There we go, Raymond. Which one? Yeah, there it is.
All right, Steve. Skinny Luka was a big talking point this summer. I was wondering, when you're watching the film of the Lakers preseason games, if you noticed a difference in Luka and how he's played, or just how he looks, or same as always?
He looks like he's in good shape, but he's the same player. I mean, he's been the same player since the moment he stepped on the court years ago. Unstoppable force with his pace, his strength. The way he shoots the ball behind his head, the step backs, you can't get there to challenge that shot. The way he is a constant lob threat with his centers, pick and roll threat. He's gotten better and better as a shooter. I mean, he's a brilliant player.
And to follow up on that, LeBron James obviously isn't going to play. How does that change at all your preparation for this game, or how you, I guess, defend LA knowing LeBron's not going to be there, but you still have Luka to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you don't have to go through, your LeBron rules. The things that he does, which basically are also unguardable. But if he's playing, you definitely, talk about his impact and what you would like to do. So that eliminates that part of it. Yeah, I mean, every game is, that we play against those guys. We're dealing with, Reeves as well, Luka, LeBron. If all three are out there, you got three different playmakers. I mean, there's a reason they're, the team they are. They've got a lot of problems for people to deal with.
Seems very vivid that every time you guys played the Mavericks, Wiggins was on Luka a lot. And I was thinking, you played the Lakers once last year after your trade and their trade, and you beat them in LA, I think in April. Kuminga played a lot that game. Did he spend a lot of time on Luka? Is he? I don't expect you to reveal your plans, but how do you sort of handle that assignment now that Wiggins is gone?
Yeah, I mean, multiple players will guard Luka. You have to approach it that way. Not having Moses impacts us for sure. So we have to plan for everything, but we'll have different players, different schemes, and we'll try to adjust during the game and see how we can do.
What's sort of the biggest skill? I mean, it seems like he's not super quick. Is strength a big factor?
Strength is incredible, and it's just his ability to get people on his hip and get into the lane, and the patience, waiting till the last second to either shoot it, throw the lob, or go cross court for a three. It's probably as good as anybody in the league, better than anybody in the league. At that skill set, and it puts incredible pressure on your defense.
Steve, around this time last year, you were pretty comfortable going like 12 deep early on in the season. Obviously, depth is another strength for you guys this year, but do you want to have it more towards 9, 10 early on, or do you look to extend it towards 11, 12 already in early rotations?
Well, I think, we have 3 games in 4 nights to start the year, and I don't think any of our guys are ready to play heavy minutes in a 3 and 4 situation. So we will definitely lean on our bench this first week. We have a lot of decisions to make. I love our depth. We've got a lot of guys who can play, but the combinations are everything. And so, Al won't play in the back-to-back. We've announced that already. He's not going to play in any back-to-backs all year. So that changes the rotation for, one of those 2 games, depending on which one we choose Al for. But it goes way beyond that. It'd be great to have Al and JK together, for example, for the spacing offensively. Certain guys we like to have on the floor with Steph. Gary's at his best with Steph and setting screens and diving. Some teams, some years, you spend 5 minutes on the rotation, you see it, it's clear as day, and you move on to the next subject. We just talked for an hour today as a coaching staff on all the different possible 5-man combinations. So this is not a clean, clear look right now, and especially without Moses, so that adds another part to the equation. The one thing I know is I feel very comfortable playing, 12, 13 different guys. I don't think you'll see 12 guys. I think you could see 11. There may be a handful of guys because of these combinations that I'm talking about. You may get 3 guys who play 8 minutes apiece. That's in play. But where you don't want to get stuck is with lineups that don't make sense because you're trying to pigeonhole a guy who really deserves to play because of the training camp he's had. Pigeonhole 2 guys who don't fit into the lineup because they both deserve it. And then all of a sudden you don't have enough ball handling, or you don't have enough shooting, or enough defense, whatever it is. And so early on in the season, we have to figure out those combinations. And like I said, the possibilities are endless, but it's not perfectly clean either.
Combinations being everything. I know that's something that you've been very clear about, and this might be a dumb question, but is that something that you have learned over time as a coach, instead of just seeing it as talent on paper and being like, no, it has to be the right combinations and the right pieces to actually make the puzzle fit?
Well, there are no such thing as dumb questions, unless Raymond is asking them. Though I've heard him I ask a bunch of dumb ones. You guys have never asked a dumb question. So the fit, the fit is everything. In fact, I was focused so much on, ripping Raymond that I forgot your question. There's dumb answers, and this is one of them. So I beat you to it. So
just if that's something that you've learned over time as a coach, that the combinations, the fit is what's most important, and not just purely looking at talent on paper.
Yeah. And look, I was blessed my first 5 years coaching here with 2-way combinations in the starting lineup and coming off the bench. Like it was it didn't take very long to figure that out. The best teams generally have, a clear-cut top 7 or 8, and the coach doesn't have a ton of decisions to make. You saw that last year with us. First, we were 25 and 26, I think, when we got Jimmy. Had a million different starting lineups. Nothing was clear. We had a lot of one-way lineups at either end. Once we got Jimmy, we settled in. We go 23 and 7. We had the same starting lineup if we were healthy over and over again, and it worked. And there's still factors, though, right? I don't want Draymond guarding the 7-foot guys for 82 games. So I want him starting at the 4 sometimes. The last 30 games last year, he was at the 5. For 82 games, that's tough. So we're not going to do that. We will do it sometimes where he's starting at the 5, but others, we'll start Al, we'll start QP, we'll start Trace, we'll start a traditional 5 next to Draymond. But that's going to be determined by how we're playing, by who's available, all that kind of stuff.
Give us 5 games. We'll ask some dumb questions, I promise. You mentioned Jonathan and Jimmy are both upgraded to probable. Did you practice today, or was it light? Or?
Practiced. It was like half court live,
Okay.
just scheme stuff, getting ready for the Lakers, and so it wasn't a full scrimmage,
practice, right.
but it was a taped,
Got it.
live half court stuff.
And you talk about all your lineup options. I don't expect you to reveal it now, but have you settled on a starting lineup yet, or is that going to literally be decided, tomorrow?
I have decided who's going to start tomorrow, and I will not be sharing.
That's what I figured. Okay. And following up the earlier question about your butterflies, I mean, you've had a lot of opening nights as a player, as a coach. Is it still fresh and exciting? Is it still? I mean, it still obviously motivates you, inspires you, invigorates you in some way, it sounds like.
I love it. So
What about it?
It's just the first step. There's something special about opening night. The exhibition season is behind us. The focus is suddenly there. The competitive juice is there. The lights are on. The popcorn's popping, as Chick might have said. Jello's jiggling. Well, that's at the end of the game, I think, right? Yeah, but no, all those metaphors are true. Like you feel opening night, and I always feel the first night of the playoffs is a very similar one. And then you kind of get into the regular season, even you get into the playoff run, and you kind of settle down, and it becomes more routine. I always think about as a Laker fan growing up. Kareem hits the sky hook at the San Diego Sports Arena in Magic's first game, and Magic jumps into Kareem's arms, and like they just won the NCAA title, and Kareem says to him, "Easy there, young fella. We got 81 more." And there's some truth to that, but that juice that you feel opening night. It's real.
Is it magnified at all for you tomorrow? The fact that it is the Lakers, team you grew up rooting for, and it's the very, probably one of the marquee franchises in basketball.
Yeah, that left my body a long time ago. I still root for the Dodgers, but my Laker fandom left my rookie year in the NBA. That went.
Well, I guess beyond that, just the stage. I mean, the stage of LA, Hollywood, the star.
I think everybody loves playing in LA. Every player in the league. It's obviously a historic franchise. It's a great city. It's there's a vibe in the building because of who's there, and all the banners hanging up there. Playing the Lakers will always be special.
Steve's. Good. Speaking of Al, real quickly, you mentioned no back-to-backs. How far in advance will you guys decide? In other words, 3 and 4 this week. Have you decided A or B? He's sitting first night, the second night.
So that'll be something we visit on every week, and it'll be Rick and me and the player involved, and we'll hash it out, and we'll have a plan, and then the plan may get obliterated based on something happening, but we'll definitely have it mapped out each week. Go from there.
And you mentioned all the combinations that work and how deep you go depends on kind of game to game right now. As you take a step back and you go broader with the organization itself and how long you've been here, what type of player do you think fits best in what you guys have built?
That's a really broad question. The one thing I've always known and felt from the very beginning is we're built around Steph and Draymond's chaos at both ends. Draymond is one of the most brilliant defenders of all time. Steph is obviously one of the brilliant offensive players of all time. There's a chaos to their game. And on the offensive end, the two of them together, the continuity, they do some unique stuff that we don't even plan. And so we've always thrived with, guys who understand that, guys like Sean Livingston and Andre. Gui's right here, coming up next. And, I've said this to you guys, he was our number one plus minus guy a year ago. And part of the reason is he knows how to play with those guys. Get the guys who can really feel how to get Steph open, how to utilize the leverage that Steph provides by slipping to the rim or setting a screen, whatever it is. We've always thrived with, with the high IQ guys and the switchability, the length, defensive, two-way stuff. That's why we had those rosters we had, from 15 to 19. It had all of that, and that's why those teams, hung all those banners. Thanks, you guys.
Quinton Post reveals what Stephen Curry did that mattered more than scoring. Quinton Post is quickly becoming one of the most intriguing young talents on the Golden State Warriors roster. In his rookie season, he quietly made a name for himself, shooting an impressive 40.8% from three-point range and averaging 8.1 points per game. As a modern stretch big, he's carved out a valuable role in the Warriors' rotation, and he's not done yet. During the preseason, Post continued to show his offensive potential, especially in a standout performance against the Portland Trail Blazers where he dropped 16 points, including 3 three-pointers. But when asked about his recent success, Post didn't take the credit for himself. Instead, he pointed to one major factor: Stephen Curry. "What you saw out there, that's just the effect of having Steph Curry on the floor," Post said. "He makes everything so much easier for everyone on offense. And defensively, I think we handled things much better than the last time we faced them." The game marked Curry's return after missing the previous matchup against the Lakers. And he didn't disappoint, putting up 28 points and leading the Warriors to a 118-111 win over Portland. "This was a big statement game for him," Post added. "He sat out last game, and then came back and just took over. He said something before tip-off that really stuck with me. But more than anything, it's his leadership, the way he sets the tone, that makes the biggest difference." While Curry leads the way offensively, Post is focused on improving where it really matters for his position: rebounding. Despite his offensive contributions, Post pulled down only 2 defensive rebounds in the game. Not enough, he admits, for a player in his role. "We did a better job controlling the pace, but we still had too many turnovers. And on defense, I'm not even sure what the rebounding numbers were. I just know I need to be better. That's my priority right now, becoming a more effective rebounder." Last season, Post faced criticism for his defensive inconsistency. He knows that if he wants to keep growing and solidify his role long-term, that's the area he has to improve. Fortunately, he's not doing it alone. With the mentorship of Al Horford, who shares a similar playing style as a stretch 5, Post is in the right environment to evolve. If he continues to develop, especially on the defensive end, Quinton Post could be a key piece in the Warriors' rotation for years to come. And with Steph Curry leading by example, he's got one of the best blueprints in the game to learn from. But what makes Post's comments so striking isn't just his humility, it's the deeper acknowledgement of how Stephen Curry continues to reshape the game without always needing to light up the scoreboard. For a young player like Post, recognizing the power of Curry's off-ball move, leadership, and court gravity shows a level of maturity that's catching the attention of coaches and analysts alike. Internally, sources close to the team say the coaching staff has been impressed with Post's approach during training camp. While his shooting numbers draw the headlines, it's his willingness to learn and take ownership of his weakness, like rebounding and defensive, that's earned him growing respect in the locker room. In particular, his openness about needing to improve on the glass has resonated with veterans like Draymond Green and Kevin Looney, who have both taken on mentoring roles with him in recent weeks. During practices, Post has been seen working closely with assistant coaches focusing on boxing out drills, rebounding reads, and interior footwork, a sign that he's committed to rounding out his game. Outside of the Warriors camp, Post's preseason performance and his comments about Curry sparked interest across NBA media. Analysts on national shows highlighted the quote about Curry making everything easier, using it as yet another example of the intangible impact the two-time MVP has on his teammates. Former players and commentators have also pointed out that this kind of awareness, especially from a rookie, is rare, and could signal that Post has the mindset to stick in the league. "You don't hear a lot of young bigs talking like that," said one analyst during a post-game breakdown. "He understands the game beyond just stats." That's huge. Looking ahead, the Warriors see Post as a potential long-term piece, someone who can eventually fill a similar role to Al Horford, a smart, versatile big who stretches the floor, moves the ball, and plays within the system. If he can elevate his rebounding and improve his defensive reads, he may even find himself closing games down the line. For now, though, Post remains focused on the next step. "There is still so much I need to work on," he said after the win over Portland. "But being around guys like Steph, Draymond, Looney, it's helping me grow faster. I just want to keep earning my minutes." As the regular season approaches, all eyes will be on whether Post can carry his preseason momentum into meaningful games. And if he does, with Curry still drawing defenders and opening lanes, the Warriors might have found a valuable new weapon hiding in plain sight.